Imagine standing on the edge of a busy curb, looking out at a literal ocean of moving metal. Thousands of motorbikes are swarming toward you from every direction. Horns are blaring, engines are revving, and there is not a single traffic light in sight. For anyone visiting Ho Chi Minh City for the first time, this is the ultimate test of courage. It looks like absolute, uncontrollable madness. But what if I told you there is actually a beautiful, hidden rhythm to this chaos, and that you can learn to navigate it, like a local?
It really is a shock to the system. Most people from Western countries are used to structured traffic where pedestrian crossings are sacred zones. In Saigon, those painted white lines are more like polite suggestions. If you wait for the traffic to stop for you, you will literally be standing on that curb forever. But once you understand the underlying psychology of how people drive here, it completely changes your perspective. It is less like a traffic jam and more like a massive, collective dance, where everyone is subtly negotiating space in real time.
A collective dance is a great way to put it, though it definitely feels more like extreme sports when you are the one trying to step off the sidewalk. So, how does someone actually take that first step without panicking? What is the secret to crossing the street in Saigon without getting hit?
The absolute golden rule is predictability. When you step onto the road, you have to move at a slow, steady, and consistent pace. The biggest mistake tourists make is running, freezing in the middle of the lane, or trying to step backward. The riders are constantly calculating your trajectory. If you move at a constant speed, they will adjust their path and flow around you like water around a rock in a stream. But if you make a sudden movement, you disrupt their calculations, and that is when accidents happen. Think of yourself as a slow-moving obstacle that the river of traffic must bypass. If the obstacle suddenly jumps or stops, the river crashes.
So, it is all about trust then. You have to trust that they see you and will actively avoid you. But how do you make sure they actually do see you? Is there a physical trick to it?
Absolutely. You want to make eye contact with the oncoming riders if you can, and keep your hand raised slightly at waist or chest level, pointing in the direction you are walking. It is a non-verbal signal that says, "Here I am moving this way." And you just keep taking those slow, deliberate steps. It feels completely counterintuitive because everything in your brain is screaming at you to run for your life. But once you do it successfully a couple of times, it becomes incredibly empowering. It is almost a meditative experience once you get past the initial fear.
What about those massive roundabouts though? Places like the one near the Ben Thanh Market or the Saigon Cathedral. Those look even more intimidating because the traffic is coming from multiple angles at once. Does the same rule apply there?
In roundabouts, focus on crossing one lane at a time, like crossing small streets. Watch the lane ahead, wait for bikes to pass, then move to the next. Stay patient, and calm drivers are skilled at avoiding pedestrians.
That makes a lot of sense. Break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Now, what about when you are not walking? A lot of travelers choose to get on the back of a motorbike, whether they are renting one themselves or using ride-hailing apps like Grab or 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗬. That is a whole different level of intensity. What should people keep in mind when they are on 2 wheels instead of 2 feet?
Always fasten your helmet strap securely. It's required by law in Vietnam and essential for safety. Beware of ninja blinkers riders who signal one way but turn the opposite. Never tailgate, as sudden stops and turns happen frequently.
I have seen that happen so many times. It is like defensive driving turned up to 11. And there is also the issue of technology, right? Everyone relies on their phones for navigation these days. But using your phone while riding, or even standing near the road, can be risky.
Yes, phone snatching is a real issue in busy tourist areas. If you are on a scooter or even just standing on the edge of the sidewalk, do not hold your phone out loosely. If you need to check your map, pull over completely, step onto the sidewalk, turn your back to the street, and hold your phone with both hands close to your chest. It takes 5 seconds, but it prevents you from becoming an easy target for opportunistic thieves on passing bikes.
That is a very practical tip. And what about choosing between the different ride-hailing options? You mentioned Grab and 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗬. Is there a difference in terms of safety or experience for a traveler?
Grab is a reliable, well-known option. 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗬 uses quiet electric bikes, so be extra alert. Always check that the driver gives you a clean, working helmet. If the strap is broken, ask for another or cancel the ride. Your safety comes first.
Absolutely. Now, let us talk about the worst-case scenario. No matter how careful you are, accidents can happen. If a traveler gets into a collision or a fall, the immediate aftermath can be incredibly overwhelming, especially with the language barrier. What is the very first thing they should do?
The absolute priority is safety. If it is a minor collision and you are able to move, get yourself and the vehicle off the road immediately. Do not stand in the middle of the street trying to argue or assess the damage, because the flow of traffic is so dense that you risk causing a secondary, much worse accident. Move to the sidewalk first.
And what if there are injuries? Who do you call? I imagine the emergency numbers are different from what most travelers are used to.
For medical help in Vietnam, call 115 for an ambulance. If language is a barrier, ask locals for help by saying 𝗑𝗪𝗡𝗑, emergency care. Bystanders are usually very helpful and may call an ambulance or even take you to a clinic on a scooter for minor injuries.
That community aspect is so unique and reassuring. But beyond medical care, there is also the administrative side of things. How should travelers document the incident for insurance or legal purposes?
Document everything immediately. Take clear photos of the scene, vehicle damage, and license plates. If using a ride-hailing app, screenshot ride details, driver's profile, and booking ID. For serious issues, disputes, or suspected scams, call police at 113. Contact your travel insurance provider quickly to find cooperating local hospitals and avoid high out-of-pocket costs.
Speaking of disputes, there is a local custom that might surprise a lot of foreigners. Often, for minor accidents, people do not wait for the police. They resolve it right then and there. How does that work?
For minor scrapes or dents, locals prefer settling with cash on the spot to avoid police delays and vehicle impoundment. If you're partly at fault, offering around 100,000, 200,000 dong, $10, $20 is usually the quickest and easiest solution.
It is fascinating how the system self-regulates. It is a reminder that while the rules on paper might seem chaotic or absent, there is a very strong social contract at play. People want to keep moving, and they want to resolve conflicts quickly. But what if the accident is severe? Or if you lose your documents, like your passport, in the chaos?
In serious cases, contact your embassy or consulate. Save their emergency contacts before arrival. They can help with travel documents, communicate with authorities, and reach your family if needed. It's a crucial preparation you'll appreciate if the need arises.
It really highlights the importance of preparation. Saigon is an incredible city, full of energy, amazing food, and warm people. But its traffic is a beast you have to respect. When you look at the sheer volume of scooters, it almost feels like a metaphor for the country's rapid development. Everything is moving forward, fast, and you have to adapt to keep up.
That is a great point. The traffic reflects the spirit of the city. It is dynamic, relentless, and highly adaptive. Once you stop viewing it as a threat and start viewing it as a system with its own logic, you stop feeling afraid. You realize that everyone on the road is actively trying to avoid hitting you just as much as you are trying to avoid them. It is a shared responsibility.
So, to wrap it all up for our listeners, stay predictable, walk with confidence, protect your belongings, and know who to call if things go wrong. Armed with these tips, you can step off that curb, not with fear, but with excitement.
Exactly. Navigating the streets of Saigon is not just a logistical necessity, it is a rite of passage. Once you master it, you will feel like you can handle anything this amazing city throws at you. Just take it one step at a time, keep your head up, and enjoy the ride.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Saigon Survival Guide. Stay safe out there, keep your wits about you, and we will see you in the next episode.
Safe travels, and see you next time.